Week 6 is here. We each have a favorite. We each have an underdog, an over, and an under. Guys, let's get right into it. James, we'll start off with you. Who is your favorite for Week 6?
Man, I'm not gonna lie. I did not want to bet this line. This line was just a smidge too large for me. But guess what, man? We're going with it anyways because why? The other team has Dylan Gabriel as their quarterback. Give me the Steelers minus 5.5 points. Spence and Jiselle, why do I say this? Well, because one thing only. Tomlin is 16-1 straight up against the Browns. With an average of about 11.6 point margin. But he's 10-1 at home versus the Browns against the spread. So we like that so far. And of course, again, this is just a Dylan Gabriel fade spot. Did perform not all right versus, the Vikings the other day. Lost in the last couple seconds. But other than that, this is just a fade the Browns type. Hey, the Browns, they traded Joe Flacco, and they're talking about Shedeur Sanders. They're talking about the backup. So this team is just waiting for the backup to get in there. So I'm feeling, Aaron Rodgers and the team going up a quick 17-0. Let it be the third quarter. And they're like, you know what? Fine. ESPN wants Shedeur in. Let's get Shedeur in. F it. And then, let's just close out. Let's get the 5.5. Mike Tomlin's been dominating the Browns, as I mentioned. But at the end of the day, Steelers, after a bye week, 9-1 straight up.
I like that.
Yeah, I actually like that pick.
Yeah, the Steelers, to me, this is a moment where they're going to take full control of the AFC North. We know what's going on with the Ravens. The Bengals just traded for Joe Flacco from the Browns, and the Browns, well, James, you said it, Dylan Gabriel. So a win in this game, I think the Steelers are firmly in control of the AFC North in 2025, and I think they do that. It is a game in Pittsburgh at Acrisure, which I still refuse to call it Acrisure. It is Heinz Field, damn it.
Heinz Field, yeah.
Heinz Field, but it's a place where historically Pittsburgh shows up. The terrible towels are going to be out rolling, and yeah, the Browns can sometimes be feisty with the Steelers. The AFC North can be funny, but I think 5.5 is a comfortable cover for the Steelers. I like the pick, James. All right, Jiselle, who is your favorite for Week 6?
All right, man. I got to run it back with my Buffalo Bills, who are going against the Atlanta Falcons. I could have had a perfect record last week, which I really needed. And the Buffalo Bills decided last minute to just be like, we're going to take that. I don't know why. So I just feel like I had to choose them again. They have to redeem themselves. And I can totally see them winning against the Atlanta Falcons. Despite the Falcons coming off of a bye week, I just hope that the Bills keep the pressure going off of, a tough loss last week to Denver. So the Bills are my favorite.
Yeah, I like the pick. If I was working in the Mercedes-Benz Stadium, I would say this is the Falcons game. They're rocking the throwback jerseys on Monday night. The Benz is going to be jointed up. It's going to be nice, but I will say Josh Allen in primetime has a 3.5 point favorite or higher. He's 13-2 straight up, but 7-8 against the spread, but it's okay. I believe this Josh Allen team should take care of the Falcons. I know Spence is going to love this game for his fantasy players. I know Jiselle will love this for her fantasy players, but at the end of the day, man, it's about wins and losses, not fantasy points for me. And I think the damn Bills should get back on track.
Well, interesting you say that, James. Are you only saying that because you looked at who you're playing this week?
Who am I playing this week?
You're playing first place big dog Spence right now.
You know what's funny? I guess, hey, dude, we had this chat about a couple weeks ago. Okay, fine. I'll play you in fantasy. I'll kick your ass just like I do in this thing. It's okay, big dog. It's going to happen.
Kick my ass in this?
I did last year, and we're tied first.
Wait, so we're tied. Wait, that's your favorite thing, right? It's a tie, right?
Yeah.
Wait, but no, James, you don't do ties, so
no.
I'm just saying.
Well, remember this. This will only last as long as the video is recorded for. So, hey, get your 35 minutes of fame. Hey,
woo! Fair enough. Well, I'll go ahead and I'll throw out my favorite then. I am taking the Patriots minus 3.5. I am surprised that this number is as low as it is. I know they're going on the road against the New Orleans Saints, but the Saints are coming off of a very improbable victory in my eyes. I know a lot of people were on the Giants, and this was a team that a lot of people were expecting they're going to be winless for a while. Well, they just got a win last week. James, y'all know I'm about probabilities, and probability states a team this bad coming off of a victory, they're due for an L. -3.5 is a very small number for a Patriots team coming off of a very impressive win on Sunday Night Football in Buffalo. So we know they can go on the road and get a dub, and this is a much easier team to go on the road against. Give me the Patriots. I believe in Drake May. Let's get it done.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm surprised this point spread is not a bit larger. I think it's only because, of course, the Saints won last week, but they've actually played better than what their record. They've played better than their 1-4 record.
I do agree with that.
Like the Raiders, their record, they play better than a one. No, they don't. The Saints played better than their record has shown. But no, I'm with you. I have a trend that has the Saints as the play, but at the end of the day, I'm looking at what you're talking about. Hands down, the better roster, hands down, the better coaching. They got to figure this out because this would put, matter of fact, I don't know if you knew this, but before they beat the Bills, they were a plus 135, the Patriots, to make the playoffs. Since beating the Patriots, their odds are at -210. So somehow, I guess they're a semi-lock to make the playoffs. So,
wow.
Hey, you need these dubs right now.
That's true. And this is a game if you lose this game, you'll look back at the end of the year and say, man, we dropped the ball on that one. I don't think that happens. I think Mike Vrabel gets done. Can we please get some Travion Henderson going? For the love of God. I want this to be the Travion Henderson coming out party. I want him to go crazy. Yes, I have him on my fantasy teams, 100%. But with the injury to Antonio Gibson, he's out for the year. Please give Travion more work. He doesn't fumble the ball like Ramondre Stevenson. Mark my words, if they give Travion Henderson more than 50% of the snaps at running back in this game, I think the Patriots comfortably get their implied team total and probably cover that too.
Yeah, I'll say this. For Travion Henderson, I know his coming out party was on TikTok with his third leg, but yeah, I would love him to get some more carries too, bro. Hey man, he's got to be productive because everyone, I know people drafted him high in some fantasy drafts because his preseason, and it was an impressive preseason. Come on, freaking Barry, let's get Henderson a rock.
Yeah, I'm a sucker for a fun, hyped up rookie in the draft and in the preseason. But Travion, I'll say this. I knew I was going to draft him on all my fantasy teams back when he was still playing for the Buckeyes. I was like, this guy has to be on my teams because he's pure electricity. So I think this week we get him going. Let's feed him the rock. Ramondre Stevenson going to keep fumbling the ball. Antonio Gibson's out for the year. Let's feed Travion. All right. Let's run to our underdogs. Jiselle, I'll start with you on this one. Who's your underdog for week 6?
Okay, so my underdog for week 6, this one's going to be a really tough nail biter game. I think this will be one of the better games for week 6 in the NFL. I'm going to go with the Detroit Lions. I know that they're a bit banged up. They're missing some crucial players there. And a lot of people would assume that the Kansas City Chiefs would come in after that tough loss against Jacksonville Jaguars and Trevor Lawrence. Everyone would have assumed that KC is going to come in and annihilate them. They need a win. They need to dust off the L that they got, a very tough, hard L. Jacksonville had not beat Kansas City since I believe it was like 2009.
Yeah.
So great thing for Duval and Trevor Lawrence, but for Mahomes, Kansas City, and Travis Kelce and friends, they are not in a good hot spot. So at this point, I think it's going to be a great game. I believe that the Detroit Lions have what it takes to beat Mahomes. They just got to keep their foot on the pardon me, sorry, it just bit me. They just got to keep their foot on their necks, and they just can't let up, despite the fact that they're missing crucial players.
Yeah, no, I'm with you on this one. So I'm not gonna lie, I stayed away from this game because as soon as I saw Lions that were underdogs, I was like, oh, I gotta slam it. And then it was like, I'm pretty sure all of us are gonna slam it. So it's either A, we fade the public, or B, the public's gonna eat. But I mean, the Lions have been the best team against the spread since Dan Campbell. This team is very good. I know you mentioned no corners, no Terrion Arnold, so that's going to be fun. I don't look at Kansas City as a big, deep threat team with Xavier Worthy. They try to, but I think the Lions can hold their own. And of course, you got Jahmyr Gibbs, you got freaking David Montgomery. They can handle the rock. I mean, heck, they were just a 4.5, 5.5 point underdog to Baltimore, and then they obviously beat them by like 10, 14 points. So I can see this game going the same way as it did the kickoff game when it was Chiefs versus Lions. And it was like, oh, Lions ain't got a shot.
Yep.
And it was just those two-headed monsters. You still got Jared Goff, you still got Amara. This offense will keep them in the game, and I think that's just going to put so much pressure on the Chiefs. But guess what? Last time I faded the Chiefs was against the Ravens, and they freaking whipped the Ravens' ass. So, hey, that's why I stayed away, Jiselle. Hey, I give you all the grace for this one.
Yeah,
I know I'm going to need it, but sometimes there's no risk without reward. So you got to risk it all.
Yeah, the Lions are truly one of the best teams in the NFL, and if the Chiefs don't win this game and they fall to 2-4 and they've lost to some impressive teams this season, we're going to start talking about not only do the Chiefs have a very small chance of winning their division at 2-4, we're going to start having conversations about are they even going to make the playoffs at that point if they're losing games that historically over the past 2 or 3 seasons we would have been, no doubt hammering the Chiefs. This is a game, this is a spot where I don't know. It's tough.
It's tough. It's real tough, yeah, because like y'all mentioned, for example, last year the Chiefs were 11-0 in one-score games. This year they're 0-3. So you already know the flip was going to happen. And we mentioned the Lions, 39-13-1 the last 53 games against the spread. So it's like
that's insane.
Yeah,
and like you said, the Chiefs they would be 2-4.
It's possible. That's the thing. And that's why I chose this pick. I'm like, it's possible.
I don't see how. I mean, I'm sure it's possible. It's Patrick Mahomes. But if they go to 2-4 in their division, in this wide open AFC, and I guess that's part of the reason why I guess that still would be having a chance because the AFC is very wide open right now.
Yes.
But at 2-4, it's going to start to close down a little bit. The Chiefs better get this dub. This is a very important game, but I'm very excited for this to be the Sunday Night Football game. This is a textbook, printed in stone before the season started. We knew this was going to be an excellent Sunday night game. By the way, forgot to mention this when we talked about the last game. Once again, I need to point out the NFL is stupid for staggering the Monday Night Football times. We have a 6:15 and a 7:15.
Yeah.
Why are we doing this when next week in week 7, just spoiler alert, just so y'all are getting ready ahead of time, we have a 6 o'clock Monday night and we have a 9 o'clock Monday night. Why can't we do that every single time? Why are we staggering them this week and then double-headering them next week? Which, by the way, Texans in Seattle is that 9 o'clock game. So we will definitely be doing a watch-along for that. Y'all make sure y'all tune in for James, let's hear your underdog. Who you got for week 6?
Well, shoot, last time I did this, hey, my team won outright. So, hey, we'll just do this again. Give me the Giants plus 7.5 Thursday Night Football against the Eagles in MetLife. Why? Look, I'll be honest. Look, we're 4-1. We kind of look like last year's Chiefs. Heck, we kind of look like 2 years ago Eagles team. We're 4-1, but we're barely winning these games. The offense doesn't look good. Kevin Patullo is getting killed. Saquon's only getting 6 carries. Refs are cheating. All the excuses we all could pull out of our tails. But no, this game is not because of, Jackson Dart. None of that. This is all just because of Jalen Hurts. Right now, because I have Giants plus 7.5. So Jalen Hurts is 3-11-1 against the spread as a favorite more than 7 points. So we like that fade. And then, of course, Jalen Hurts' last 7 games against the spread as a favorite more than 7, 0-7. So I really like the trends for Jalen Hurts right here. I see this Eagles team. Worst case scenario, everyone's been talking about AJ. Everyone's talking about Saquon. Saquon's definitely getting more than 6 touches, so we're going to be eating up a lot of clock. Can the Giants, find a way to score some points? I know that, of course, they won't have Malik Neighbors. They didn't have him last week, but they ended up scoring a decent amount of points versus the Saints. I'll say this, man, hey, Giants, man, hey, do me a solid, big dog. Can we just cover and then let my Eagles win like 17-10 and just call it a day? That's all I want.
Yeah.
But other than that, all this was all basically off of Jalen Hurts trends, just because I do think the Eagles will win. Whatever. If they don't, hey, somebody getting fired.
Yeah, the one thing I like about this pick for you, James, is that it's in MetLife. But I'll be
Mhm.
honest with you, I'm going to pick the Eagles in this game. I think they cover comfortably coming off of a loss against the Broncos. I think this is a get-right game coming off of that loss. And I think the Giants are who thought they were. I think they had a magical coming-out party for Jackson Dart against the Chargers. And last week, against a very bad Saints team, they came back down to earth in a big way. Now they welcome the Eagles, defending Super Bowl champs. There has been a lot of talk about the past game with Devontae Smith and A.J. Brown. I think this is a nuclear spot for one of those guys. I think one of those guys is going to have a big night. I don't know if it's A.J. I don't know if it's Devontae Smith. I think someone's going for at least 2 tuds. Maybe they combine for 2 tuds, but I think the wide receivers get going tomorrow night.
Yeah, hey man, I would like that. I mean, last week Devontae did have a decent game. It seems like Dallas Goedert is the touchdown catch passer, for this Eagles team right now. But again, I know I talked a little bit about Jalen Hurts. I'll talk just a smidge more. Last 12 games versus the NFC East on the road, 6-6 straight up and 4-7-1 against the spread. Like I said, I think the Eagles will win. I just think it's going to be just one of those slow, ugly NFC East games where it's going to be boring. But hey, I was thinking about doing the under. But Spence, you know me. And even you too, Jiselle. I like doing a little tease action. And hey, I might just go Giants plus 13.5 and then the 46 under and a half. Dude, just give me what I want. Give me the tease, give me the cover, give me the Eagles win. I'm going 3 for 3, man, tomorrow. I just feel it.
All right. My underdog for week 6, I'm going with the New York Jets plus 7.5 against those Denver Broncos that pulled the upset last week against the Eagles. Look, this is a game that the last few times that these two teams have matched up, it's just been real nasty and ugly. Most recently, they had a 10-9 victory for the Broncos last season. Ugly, ugly times whenever these two teams meet. I think that happens again. But I do think not only are the Jets going to cover this spread, I think the Jets finally get in the win column this week. Overseas, this is the London game. I think things get crazy over there. The Jets, they are an offense that has some things working for them. I like what we've seen from the run game with Breece Hall. Garrett Wilson is very sneakily having a very, very good season. Justin Fields, you never know what you're going to get with him because he has absolute flashes of brilliance, and then other times he just forgets how to play the game of football. I think we're going to get more of the good Justin Fields. I think the Jets, they're going to have the game plan against one of the most elite defenses in the NFL. They're going to try to run the ball, play the time of possession game, and just try to squeak out an ugly victory. I think they pull it off. I think this is a good game to bet the under on also, but I at least think the Jets, for me, are going to cover 7.5.
I will say this. I was going to go with the Jets as well. I think this team is also one of those that have played better than what their record has shown. Yeah, like you mentioned, some games the Jets have it, and some days it looks like they're not. But I'll say this. Hey, the biggest key X factor for me, Spence and Jiselle, is going to be the Jets defense. Why do I say that? Well, just because of Justin Fields' career as a quarterback. Justin Fields is 14-34 straight up as a starter. You know what his record is when teams score more than 20 points on his defense?
I don't remember the amount of losses, but I know the amount of wins is 0.
26.
26. Oh my God, dude.
So Justin Fields, hey,
That is bad.
14-8 when his defense holds opponents to 20 points or less. So hey, man, come on, Jets defense. Let's get Justin Fields a dub.
Yeah. And that's one part of this that makes me a little nervous, is part of that is relying on the Jets defense, and they are putrid. And I like a lot of what is going on in Denver on offense this year. And Denver is a team before the season I was a big fan of. This can't be a game they lose, but given the trends of what we've seen recently and, Sean Payton, I don't know, he's always due for some stupid stuff that keeps historically, his teams have always played down to competition. They play up to competition also, but they also will play down. That's just the Sean Payton way. So I like the Jets to cover plus 7.5. Let's go to our overs now. James, me and you are going to go first because we are sharing an over. Tell them what our over for week 6 is.
Yeah, man. Shoot, last week me and Spence tagged along on a pick. It didn't work out well, but guess what? We're going back with the one team on one
We're
side.
doing it.
Dog, we slam dunking the freaking Chargers and Dolphins over 43.5 points. Why? Because, man, Justin Herbert needs this is one of those, who should have been the right pick in that, draft class. I know technically everyone's going to favor Justin Herbert just because of the stats and all that, but hey, man, this is one of those, hey, man, I should have been a Dolphin. Hey, man, I should have been a Char. You never know. I'll say this. I might have opened up my mouth a little early about the Jalen Waddle thing. Hey, keep doing what you're doing, man. If you're a listener to the show, Jalen Waddle, hey, man, keep catching 110 yards for a tutty. We love it. Hey, man, roll tide, big dog. I'm sorry I said that, but hey, it's okay, man. Hey, just glad that. But no, in all honesty, the reason why I think this will be an over game, because what I hope for Spence and Giselle is that the Dolphins are up in the fourth, because one thing that I found out, the Dolphins are 0-5 in the fourth quarter spread. And last week they were up 17-0 and somehow lost that game 27-24. So that's, if I had to do my math right, that's about 51 points. Spence, Giselle, hey, we're getting a lot of points this week. And I feel it. Justin Herbert. And the only thing I'm worried about with this game, though, is the travel and how much of a lackluster the Chargers could be, just because, they played that game against the Giants, looked like crap. They played against the Commanders, which, Giselle, hey, congrats on your under. Thank you for not listening to me or Spence, because, man, we were wrong on that too. And they hit the under and scoring an average of average of 14 points through those two games. They got to score more, because the Dolphins, as you can see, they can score with Tyreek or not. So, yeah, I think this is an easy over.
Yeah, I like
Bell's pick.
I agree. Obviously, I'm going with that same pick for my over. Here's my thing, though. The Dolphins, 4 games in a row, have hit the over. The Chargers, 4 games in a row, have hit the under. So something's got to give. One of these teams is going to have 5 in a row. And which is more likely to get corrected? The Chargers offense and an over to hit, or the Dolphins defense and an under to hit? I know which one I'm going to place my money on, and that is the Chargers offense and Justin Herbert. I think we see points galore. For the record, I think the Chargers do get it done. They actually finally bounce back, and what I thought was going to happen last week, the Chargers bounce back. I think they get the dub, but the over is where I'm at on this one, because I'm staying away from Justin Herbert for a little bit. He's in timeout with me.
No, it happens.
Yep. All right, Giselle, who is your over for week 6?
My over for week 6, I think this will be a fun game, and it's going to be the Raiders versus Titans.
Oh, my God. You think that's going to be a fun game?
Fun, not fun to watch. Fun to get highlights from, just to see like the crapshoot that game is. I mean, you mean to tell me that technically some of the lowest teams in the whole league are going to be playing against each other? They at least got to score together 41.5 points. They'll hit it.
Well, I mean, shoot, if the Raiders play the same defense they did last week, yeah, there's 40 right there. So we just need 2 points from.
That's all I need.
I'll say this.
It's a dirty, nasty pick, but I'm here for it.
It is a dirty, nasty pick, and I only support it because it's in Las Vegas. So, I mean, heck, I'll just say like this. Me and Spence got no words for the Raiders. Screw the Raiders. Screw Pete Carroll. Screw Geno Smith. Screw Ashton Genty. Screw Jacoby Myers. Screw Matt Crosby. And even screw that minor minority owner, Tom Brady. Yeah, screw that guy too.
Oh, no. Y'all need to chill on that. But no, in all honesty, I'm hoping that Ashton Genty pops off. I hope that Geno Smith gets some spark. He has not performed well at all. So maybe this will be.
I think it might be time for AOC.
AOC.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. Not AOC. It's Kenny Pickett, Super Bowl champion.
LOL, bro.
Super Bowl,
this man over here.
Hey, bro, he's a Super Bowl. You cannot deny that motherfucker.
That's a fact.
He actually played in the Super Bowl. More snaps than Lamar, Josh Allen. I'm sorry. I don't mean to do that. But
you're 100% correct.
Played like one possession. Hey, he beat the Chiefs. He contributed to beat.
But for real, I think, let's say it like this. If Giselle's pick doesn't hit in this game, I think we're going to have conversations this week about Kenny Pickett starting over Geno Smith, because if this over 41 in this game doesn't hit, I think that's just going to lead to questions about what this offense is looking like. We know the Titans on the other side are going to be a dumpster fire. They had arguably the luckiest win in NFL history go their way last week to get in the win column. But that is still a team. I think they are worse than the Jets. And the Jets are the lone winless team right now. And I think the Titans are worse than them. Look, I think 41.5 is a good number to get to. I think I probably will end up betting the over on this one with you, Giselle. But when it comes to this being fun, oh, God, I'm not going to watch this game at all unless...
No, we're not watching it. It's to get the highlights from.
Well, I was just going to say this. It is going to be on Fox. And if Eric Collins is on this call again, I'm tuning into every single game that Eric Collins is on the call on forever. I just want to hear him sing players' names like Xavier.
Yep.
I need more of that in my life.
I need it. I'll say this. I'm still shying away from this over pick, but then thinking about how many picks Geno Smith throws per game might be a good over pick because one of those got to be in Raider territory coming right back. Yeah. So I don't know. I'm not on the fun train either, Giselle. But hey, we're rooting for you on the over.
Thank you.
All right, let's finish up with our unders. James, Giselle, y'all share an under. So, James, y'all tell me about y'all's under.
Bears versus Commanders?
Wow. Did you switch? Did I switch?
No. I honestly, that's probably one of my favorite unders because I'm like, ooh, this could be a game.
I'm not going to lie. I'm hopping on this like, dude, why am I betting the under on this game? But the only trend that I have, and it could have easily went with the other Monday night game. In the last 5 years, unders have gone 78 and 58. So 57% clip in games that totals are over 49.5 or more. And so the Commanders met that. Now, of course, there was a trend that had it at 50, but now it's at 49.5. So guess what? The under's going in our way.
Yes.
Hey, dropped a half a point. Hey, we take those points. I'm scared to bet that technically, but I will say the Bears have had a lot of rest,
Yes.
Commanders, they're coming, they got to travel back. I mean, it's not that big of a deal to travel to Chicago, but hey, it's outdoors. Maybe, maybe it's a little chilly, maybe it starts raining a little bit. And man, it's just a mud fest. I don't know if it's going to rain, but maybe it's just a slug fest. It's like just 24, 21, call it a day. Hey,
Yeah.
Just call it a day. I like it.
I honestly feel like these two teams will hit 51 points. So when I saw the under at 49.5, I was like, ooh, wow. Feels nice to bet that.
Yeah, I'm going to back y'all on this one. I think this game is going to be a lot uglier because y'all remember what happened when these teams matched up last year?
Yes.
Yeah, the
Yes.
Hail Mary.
Yeah, a little Hail Mary action to make it 18-15. People forget that part of that game. It was a really ugly smash mouth game. So I like it. I think we get another kind of one of those games. Not a Hail Mary. I think Tyreek Stevenson will know not to be talking trash to the crowd. Yeah, I think he'll know better this time, and I think the under is going to hit here. I am going to wrap things up, y'all. The under in the Green Bay Packers versus Cincinnati Bengals game on Sunday afternoon. It's set at 44.5. I'm going to take the under on that one. This is a team in the Green Bay Packers. They are predicated on running the ball. Josh Jacobs, I think he's going to have a big game, and they're going to control the clock. On the other side, newly acquired quarterback, going to get thrown into action immediately. Joe Flacco, I don't expect a ton of points to come from this because he's a consummate professional. He's been in the league for so long. If there's anyone that could quickly adjust to a new playbook, it would be someone like Joe Flacco.
Yeah.
Right.
But at the same time, this is still someone who is already not that good in his 40s. And this is an offense in complete disarray. I know they have all the weapons in the world to make this under, be cakewalk for them and hit that point total. But I don't think it's going to happen immediately for Joe Flacco and the Bengals. I think the spread in this game is massive. I think the Bengals probably end up covering the plus 14, but I don't see this game being a high-scoring affair, so I'm going to take the under 44.5.
Yeah, hopefully what I pray for is that the Packers aren't scoring a lot of points because the only trend I have for you, Spence, last 3 seasons when Flacco's been a 6-point plus underdog. He's been 4 times. His team has scored a total of 53 points. So that's an average of 13 points. You want to call it. So if you get 13 points from the Bengals, let's just hope hey, Packers, hey, let's calm it down. Let's just get 24 points. Let's get 27. That's it. Don't go any higher. We'll take 30, I guess.
No, I don't know. This game.
I know
I don't
Joe Flacco is just gonna come out of nowhere and start slinging. He's like, "Hey, bro, I got better receivers than I did."
About time. I got Jamar Chase, bro. I got to show out, man. Come on.
Got to show out.
Yeah, and I want to say this.
I did not pick that.
I want to say this. I want to give a small thing of credit, as I don't know if y'all realized that this week. A small amount of credit needs to go to Zach Taylor because he had a coach speak clinic that he put on this week in how to use coach speaks. After the game, he said, we're evaluating our options at quarterback, meaning they were going to potentially move on from Jake Browning, but he didn't know what direction they were going to go in. My theory is that they were going to have Jake Browning start in week 6 if they couldn't find a quarterback on the trade market that they were a fan of. That's why he said it that way. He didn't immediately come out and say what some coaches say, which is like, he's our quarterback. And then the next day it comes out that he's getting benched. I appreciated that Zach Taylor said, we're evaluating our options. And they went and made a trade, and then he immediately said, okay, Joe Flacco's our quarterback. We evaluated our options. I appreciate when coaches, they don't give away their entire game plan. No one's asking anyone to do that, but they still can be honest. They evaluated their options. They didn't just straight lie to everyone and say, he's our quarterback. And then the next day, he's getting benched. He's our quarterback. We talked to the team. This is what we're going to do. Like, snip, snap, snip, snap, snip, snap. I hate when coaches do that. So shout out to Zach Taylor for being a good, honest man.
Yeah.
But he still could get fired at the end of the year. We will see what happens in week 6. Y'all let us know in the comment who has the best favorites, unders, overs, and underdogs. And we will see y'all next week for week 7. Until then, y'all take it easy.